Welcome to Healthy Living. I'm Lori Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Our topic today is weight loss, something we're all interested in. And if you have been trying to lose weight and it's not happening, listen up. My guest is Dr. Ian Smith, author of the book Met-Flex Diet. And Dr. Smith, it's great to see you again, as always. And, you know, this book is so fascinating. When you say Met-Flex, you're talking about metabolic flexibility, right?
Yes, Lori, thanks for having me. It's always great to talk to you. Yes, metabolic flexibility is a term I did not know existed. I was having so many people sending me messages on Instagram and Facebook saying, hey, Dr. Ian, I've changed the way I'm eating, I'm exercising more, I still can't get the scale to move. What's going on? And I'm starting to do my research and discovered a term out there called metabolic flexibility, which basically means the body's ability to be able to burn carbs and fats both effectively, being flexible. Some people can just burn carbs well and not fats. They can burn fats well and not carbs. That is not good for our metabolic health. And so metabolic flexibility says when you can teach your body how to burn both of those energy sources well, then you can have better metabolic health, then you can start losing weight.
This really speaks to me. And actually, you know, as a medical reporter, I've had so many people say to me, you know, I am trying to lose weight and it's not happening. All I had, you know, for lunch today was a granola bar. And I actually am this way too, where if I eat, you know, any carbs at all, I can see it the next day on the scale. And so this is really pertaining to a lot of us.
So in the beginning of the book, I mentioned that. I mentioned how people would say to me, if I even look at a carb, I blow up. And I'm like, well, there has to be something to it, because so many people talk about how carbs, even small amount of carbs, and what I realized was they're not burning carbs well. And that is the key. The key is that you need to be metabolically efficient at burning carbs. It's not that the carbs are bad. It's your body just doesn't know how to burn them well. And you can teach your body how to burn them well. And in the Met-Flex diet, what I do is I introduce you to carbs, carb loading, because carbs are good for you, by the way. They're your friend.
Hallelujah.
They are.
Preach it, brother.
Well, despite the fact that people say, oh, I'm going to go on a no-carb diet, carbs are the body's #1 source of energy. Your body wants carbs. But sometimes we eat too many carbs or we eat bad carbs. So the book teaches you how to eat good carbs, how to load it. But then we also go with days that have very low carbs. So you're going back and forth, teaching your body how to use whatever fuel source is available. Carbs are available, you use it. Fats are available, you use that. That way you can sit down to almost any meal and be able to take care of it.
There are a lot of people who have tried this diet and have had wonderful success. 20 pounds in just like a couple months.
6 weeks.
6 weeks, a month and a half.
Yeah, up to 20 pounds. People lose weight differently, right? Not everyone's gonna lose 20 pounds. And I tell people all the time, you're not in a competition with other people. Some people are fast weight losers, some are gradual weight losers, that's fine. But people do see not just the weight loss, blood pressure comes down, cholesterol levels come down, energy level feels better. So there are things off of the scale. I know everyone's obsessed with the scale, but there are things off of the scale that can make a difference. In fact, this group you're talking about, we have 20,000 people in a Facebook group called Met-Flex Diet. So if you go on our Facebook group, you can join us. And we exchange recipes. I do Zoom coaching sessions. We have exercise groups. So there are all kinds of ways to incorporate this to make this not about being a diet, but a lifestyle plan.
And so the key is kind of switching back and forth. And what I love about this book is there are so many recipes and they're really good. I mean, oftentimes I interview diet people and it's all, you know, boiled chicken breast and steamed broccoli.
Rabbit food.
I know. But you know, we can eat, for example, pancakes.
Yes. Listen, I've been doing this for a long time. And what I've realized over the years is what is this sense of creating a program that people can only follow for a short period of time. People want food that is affordable, they want it to be tasty, and they want recipes that are doable, meaning you don't want a recipe that's gonna take an hour and a half or 2 hours to do. And so the recipes in this book I've curated so that they are very easy, very affordable, and the finished product, the foods, everyone in the family is gonna wanna eat it, not just the person on a program. Kids are gonna wanna enjoy some of these meals as well as the parents. And I think that's the key to a successful book with recipes is that the recipes have to be realistic, got to be fun, tasty, and they can't always be what I call rabbit food.
Yeah, and so you actually talk about the pancakes.
Yeah,
so you actually eat them. You look like the picture of health, so whatever you're doing something right.
Thank you.
So if you eat pancakes, then the rest of us can.
I love pancakes and bacon, and I grew up on it, and I don't have it every day, but I do most things in moderation. I don't eat a lot of red meat anymore, by the way, but I do eat some meat. I eat a lot of chicken. I love sushi. I love salmon. So I would say it's a 70% rule. If you eat and drink what is good 70% of the time, the other 30% of the time, go have fun. It's okay.
I like that.
Right? It's simple. I mean, because who wants to live in a world where you're following a rigid diet plan?
Yeah.
You know, yes, I wrote this 6-week plan, but I didn't write it. It's not a Bible. It's not biblical. It's a guideline.
Yeah.
Right? It's a guideline for you to take and adjust it to what you want to do with your life. And so I always say to people, use this as a blueprint and then kind of fill in the rooms and decorate the rooms of the house the way you want to.
Yeah, and so you allow bacon, and this is great news to some of us.
Well, I actually like bacon in all kinds of forms. I am not a perfect eater. I have never asked my followers to eat perfectly, and by the way, no one eats perfectly. But if people have a balance, then they feel like, I can do this.
Right.
Like, there's some days I can have pizza. It may not be 4 days a week, but a couple days I can do this.
So talk about the pizza.
Yeah, so there are days that you're doing a lot of carbs, carb-loading days. As you say, some people can't digest carbs very well. Well, in order to digest carbs well, you gotta know and be experienced with carbs. So I present carbs to the body in a way that teaches you how to digest them, to burn them efficiently without it being taxing to your system. So there are days you're gonna have pasta, you're gonna have pizza, but you're not gonna have it every single day. And by the way, you're not gonna sit down and eat a whole pizza pie, right? We're gonna have a couple slices of pizza or a slice of pizza and a green garden salad. It's that combination that makes a difference. So you're still getting what you like and what you may have missed, but you're not overindulging.
Combination. And I love the fact that you've got burger and fries, the all-American meal.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. So I don't eat as many burgers as I used to. Like I said, I've cut back on my red meat, but I will have one occasionally. But people are going to eat burgers, turkey burgers, beef burgers. They're going to eat them. And so I want to be able to take foods that I don't call cheap foods, I call them fun foods. I want to be able to put them into the program so people are not missing things that they enjoy, but also not feeling like they're cheating or getting off of the plan. And I think that is one of the strategies why the MetFlex diet has worked so well for so many people. And
then we see salmon, and the salmon looks gorgeous, and you actually eat a lot of salmon, right? I love salmon. So salmon is a fatty fish, and it has a lot of omega-3s, fatty acids, which are extremely healthy. And so I recommend salmon. There are other fatty fishes that are very good, but salmon is my favorite. I like to spice my salmon, usually a little salt and pepper. I sear it on both sides. The skin side first, by the way, because I like crispy skin. Then the other side, and then I put it into the oven on about 375 for about 5 or 6 minutes. And then you have great salmon. Yum, I'm just getting so hungry right now. You get a little crust on it? Yeah, so is it okay then to, for example, eat the skin? Yeah, absolutely. All right. That's where a lot of those omega-3s are in. Is that right? Absolutely. Okay, so I did not know that. I usually cook it and then peel the skin off and throw it away. Okay. The skin is good. I'm learning something. All right. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with Dr. Ian Smith. The book is called The MetFlex Diet. Stay with us. Welcome back, and we're continuing our discussion with Dr. Ian Smith, author of the brand new book, The MetFlex Diet. You know, you're talking about metabolism, and there are other ways to boost your metabolism, and you sort of list those in the book, like eating more protein and lifting weights. Can you talk about ways to improve your metabolism? Yeah, so metabolism is a collection of all the cellular processes that are going on in your body. Whether it's your cells causing your heart to beat, causing you to blink your eye, your stomach turning, all these things are processes that occur every second of the day. All those things in total is called your metabolism. And your body needs to be able to fuel your metabolism. It requires energy to do all these different things. When we are saying that someone has a fast metabolism, we're talking about the speed at which they do things. And the faster your metabolism, the more energy you need to be able to fuel these activities, right? And so someone says, I have a fast metabolism, a high metabolism. That means that they require a lot of calories just to exist, just to keep going. Some of us operate at a very high metabolism,
Some of us at a lower metabolism, which is not fun because it also causes weight gain because you're not burning through those calories as fast. But people can boost your metabolism to some degree. Metabolism is a genetically determined thing. You're born, God says, this is what your metabolism is. This is what your eye color is, your hair color. Now, we can change those things, right?
Yeah.
We can have colored contacts. We can dye our hair. But God says, this is what I'm giving you in the beginning. And then you can do things to alter it. Well, metabolism is one of those things. So there's small things you can do. For example, exercise. Exercise is a great temporary boost to your metabolism. It causes your metabolism to rev up, and therefore requiring more energy, therefore burning more calories. But the effect doesn't last a week, which is why you have to keep doing these things. Eating protein. Protein also can cause a metabolic boost, which is extremely important. But once that effect goes away, then you need to eat more protein. So there are things you can do to temporarily boost your metabolism. And the reason why that's helpful on a diet is because when you're trying to lose weight, you need to do many things at once. It's not always one thing that's going to be the linchpin of getting you to get your results. It's this plus that. So you add these small things, and in a synergistic way, you then start seeing results.
So when you talk about metabolism, does your metabolism slow down when you hit 40? Or, I mean, you hear about, you know, as you age, your metabolism slows down. So that's why we all get heavier as we age.
This is a great question. We always believed as medical professionals that when people got to around the age 30, that their metabolism just fell off the cliff. Like it slowed. Weight loss became harder. Weight gain became more evident. Not true. New research shows that people's metabolism up until the age of about 60 is pretty stable. It doesn't really slow down that much. After the age of 60, it slows down about 0.7% per year. So all of the weight gain that we were seeing in our 40s and 50s was not because of slow metabolism in most cases. It's because people were not doing the right things. They weren't eating well, they weren't exercising well. So their good lifestyle behaviors dropped off. And that is why I say to people, you need to practice good behaviors because that slowdown will happen. And if you're eating like you did in your teens or your early 20s when you're in your 60s and you have a slower metabolism, those calories are going to cause weight gain.
Yeah, and so you actually say in the book that there are some other things we can do to speed up our metabolism, not only exercise, but I thought this was really interesting. You said sort of like exercise on an empty stomach.
Yes, so that's called a fasted workout, right? And so fasted meaning not have eaten, workout. So one of the tricks that you can do is if you're going to work out in the morning, I'm a morning person, by the way, but if you're going to work out in the morning, don't eat anything an hour before your workout and an hour after your workout. Because, think about it, when you are exercising, you have increased your metabolism. You've increased your demand for energy. In order to do this work, you need energy. Well, where are you getting the energy from? Typically, we get it from our food, and we get it from stores of sugar in our body called glycogen. But once that goes away, where do you get energy from? Your fat.
Oh.
Fat is a storage form of energy. Okay. So, if you can avoid food before a workout and after a workout, that doesn't mean your energy demand has changed. You're still demanding energy. What it means is your source of energy has changed, and now you're going into your fat stores and you're burning fat.
And this is great information because I was always under the impression that you're supposed to eat protein right after you get done working out to fuel those muscles, to build muscle, and building muscle helps helps speed up your metabolism.
Lori, you are right into the heart of it. So, you are correct by that. The question, though, is when do you do it? When you're trying to build muscle, that's different than trying to burn fat. Okay. When you are doing a workout like lifting weights or resistance bands, trying to build your muscle, when you are doing that, then you need protein right away. Because we call that the protein window. Within an hour of working out and you've been working your muscles, you need that protein to help build more muscle. Now, if you're doing just a cardio, you don't need that protein to build muscle. Instead, you want to keep doing that fat burning. So that's why in the book, in the MetFlex diet, what I do is I say on certain days, depending on the exercise I tell you to do, we're going to eat right away or we're going to wait an hour. And that is basically based on what the goals are. Building muscle, get the protein in.
Yeah.
Burning fat, keep the food away for an hour.
This is why this book is so important, and also the Facebook group, because you really get into the weeds about some of these things. And, you know, you were talking about exercise and this high-intensity interval training, HIIT. And that's a good way to speed up your metabolism, too. A lot of us are afraid of that because it causes you have to push 100%.
Yes. And it sounds aggressive.
Yeah.
But honestly, it is the most effective way to burn calories in the shortest amount of time. So HIIT basically is this, interval training. So periods of high intensity alternating with periods of low intensity. For example, if you're a walker, you walk as fast as you can for 30 seconds, and then you walk really slowly for 30 seconds. Then 30 seconds fast again. So you're alternating between high intensity and low intensity or even rest. And that is interval training. And the reason why that's very effective is because it allows your body to go into a different burning mode, right? We want to change how our body is burning our fuel sources, and that's what HIIT does. So you can burn more calories in a shorter period of time, and studies have shown you can burn calories up to 24 hours after the workout is over.
Like the
okay,
sound
it's
of
still
that.
working. So the book talks about HIIT and gives you examples of how to do HIIT in the program.
Awesome. You can burn calories while you're watching TV.
There you
My
go.
favorite way. All right, we're going to be right back with Dr. Ian Smith after these messages. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're talking with Dr. Ian Smith. The book is MetFlex Diet, the MetFlex Diet. And, you know, a lot of us women get so angry because our boyfriends or our husbands, you know, we can go on the same diet with them and they'll like lose 20 pounds and we'll like, you lose 2. Why is it so unfair?
Well, it's not because men are any better. That's not the case whatsoever.
Well, I already know that.
In fact, most cases it's just the opposite. But the truth of the matter is anatomical. Men genetically are born with more muscle mass, have bigger muscles, heavier muscles than women. That's just how we're born. And muscle is more metabolically active, which means that muscle requires energy. You have to feed that muscle. So imagine if a man has a lot of muscle mass versus a woman, a man requires 200 extra calories just to feed the muscle compared to a woman. So if they're both on the same program, eating the same food, the same exercise, when a man is sitting down, just to sit down and stay alive, it requires more calories because he has all that muscle, which is why I say to women all the time, women need to do more resistance training, more weightlifting, more band lifting to build their muscle mass. In the old days, we used to believe that lifting weights and doing resistance training was not good for you, that it would cause high blood pressure and do all kinds of things. Women would often say, I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to look masculine.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. The amount of weights you need to lift to look masculine, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
You'd have to be in the gym for hours and hours a day.
Right.
But increasing your lean muscle mass will be very healthy in getting your metabolism up and allowing you to burn through calories faster and losing weight. And that, what I think, as women age particularly, is a trick for women. Is to women like to walk, and I'm doing cardio, I'm doing yoga, and I'm doing aerobics. But you got to lift also. You got to do resistance training. And I'm glad to see more women in the gym now who are lifting. Because that is making a difference, not just by the way and then burning more calories, but also sculpting your body.
Yeah.
Right? It gives you a more toned body and gives you a greater sculpt. So they're killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, you don't look all muscly like those women on the magazine. No.
It's not, but and I want to mention that, by the way. Women have got to dispel the notion that just because they're going to lift weights, they're going to look like a WWF wrestler. No way you're going to do that. You're not taking, you know, steroids and stuff like that. You're going to have a nice, lean body that's going to look great in your clothes. You're going to feel great about yourself, and you're going to still look feminine, but you're going to have more muscle mass to burn more calories.
Well, I'm inspired, definitely. Resistance training, lifting weights, and you have all kinds of examples here. Wanted to move on, though. You also talked about, this really surprised me, vitamin B12 consumption. I didn't realize that was so important.
Yeah, so B12 is very, very important, and which is why, by the way, for people who are vegans, strict vegans, we are very careful about them not having enough B12. B12 is like a mediator of different processes in the body. It's like a facilitator. And so people who are deficient in vitamin B12 can have a lot of different problems. And so one thing I tell people all the time is always check your levels of B12. And if you're someone who does not eat a lot of red meat, you need to also look at your B12 levels, because B12 is basically an animal product. And so you can still get it in other things, but it's primarily in animal-based products, which is why people who don't eat animal-based products have to be very careful. You can fortify, though. You can buy products that are fortified, which means you can add B12 to it. Not as good as the natural stuff, but could still be somewhat effective in helping you avoid B12 deficiency.
That is such great information. All right, we're going to take one final break and be right back with Dr. Ian Smith. The book is called The Met-Flex Diet. And we're back with Dr. Ian Smith. The book is called The Met-Flex Diet, and you say snacking? 2 thumbs up. Love it.
Four thumbs up, because snacking is important. Here's the problem with snacking, though. People don't understand snacks. Snacks are bridges between meals. So bigger calories in your meals, a small snack as a bridge, then your next meal. Unfortunately, we tend to eat snacks as meals themselves. So our snacks has as many calories as the meal, and that is not good. Too many calories. So people should snack frequently, 150 calories or less, and that will prevent them from over-consuming when the actual meal comes, because they're not ravenous. We wait too long to eat, and we're ravenous, and we just gorge, and we have this huge influx of calories. So smart snacking, the book gives a whole appendix of snacks in a chapter, but smart snacking, or I call strategic snacking, is important to weight loss and just preventing you from overeating.
And you know, this is just such great information, and losing up to 20 pounds in 6 weeks sounds so great. And I love how you say if you blow it, or if you cheat 30% of the time, you're still good. Because a lot of us, when we do fall, we're like, well, oh well, I guess it's not going to work, and then you just give up.
You give up. No giving up. This is my big message. I want people to know that if they follow me on social media, they can find out more. My Facebook group is called Met-Flex Diet. On Instagram, at Dr. Ian Smith, spell the doctor out, Ian Smith. And my website is driansmith.com. And they can follow me, send me questions, and just join our group.
Well, this is wonderful information. Dr. Smith, it's always a pleasure to have you on Healthy Living. Thank you so much for being here, and also for your wonderful work. I'm sure it's going to help a lot of people, and it already has.
Thank you, Laura, for having me. I'm always glad to be with you.
And thanks to you for tuning into this edition of Healthy Living. I'm Lori Johnson, and we'll see you again next week. Bye now.